This is starting from the view from the Earth, the celestial sphere. For centuries, humans have known that stars lie at different distances from Earth. However, when recording the positions of the stars in the sky, it is convenient to pretend that they are all stuck to the inside of a sphere surrounding the Earth. The idea of this sphere also helps astronomers to understand how their locations on Earth, the time of night and the time of year affect what will they see in the night sky. To an observer on Earth, the stars appear to move slowly across the night sky. Their motion is caused by the Earth's rotation, although it might seem that the sky is spinning around our planet. To the observer, the sky can be imagined as the inside of a sphere, known as a celestial sphere, to which the stars are fixed and relative to which the Earth rotates. This sphere has features related to a real sphere of the Earth. It has a north and south poles, which lie on its surface directly above the Earth's north and south poles, and it has an equator, a celestial equator, which sits directly above Earth's equator. The celestial sphere is like a celestial version of a globe. The positions of the stars and galaxies can be recorded on it, just as cities on Earth have their positions of latitude and longitude on the globe. An observer on Earth can view at best only half of the celestial sphere at any instant, assuming a cloudless sky and unobstructed horizon. The other half is obscured by the Earth's bulk. In fact, for an observer, at either of the Earth's poles, a specific half of the celestial sphere is always overhead, whilst the other half is never visible. For observers at other latitudes, Earth's rotation continually brings new parts of the celestial sphere into view and hides others. This means, for example, that over the course of the night, an observer at a latitude of 60 degrees north or 60 degrees south can see up to 3/4 of the celestial sphere for at least some of the time, and an observer at the equator can see every point on the celestial sphere at some point. As Earth spins, all celestial objects move across the sky, although the movements of the stars and planets become visible only at night. For an observer in mid-latitudes, stars in polar regions of the celestial sphere describe a daily circle around the north or south celestial pole. The sun, moon, planets and the remaining stars rise along the eastern horizon, swept in an arc across the sky and set in the west. This motion has a tilt to the south for observers in the northern hemisphere, or to the north of the southern hemisphere. The lower the observer's latitude, the steeper the tilt. Stars have fixed positions on the sphere, so the pattern of their movement repeats with great precision once every sidereal day. The planets, sun and moon always move on the celestial sphere, so the period of repetition differs from that of the stars. As Earth orbits the sun seems to move against the background of the stars. As the sun moves into a region of the sky, its glare washes out the light Earth's orbit also means that the part of the celestial sphere on the opposite side to the Earth from the Sun, that is, the part visible in the middle of the night, changes. The visible part of the sky at, for example, midnight in June, September, December and March is significantly different, at least for observers at equatorial or mid-latitudes on Earth. Using the celestial sphere concept, astronomers can record and find the positions of stars and other celestial objects. To define an object's position, astronomers use a system of coordinates similar to latitude and longitude on Earth. The coordinates are called declination and right ascension. Declination is measured in degrees and arc minutes. 60 arc minutes equals 1 degree. North or south of the celestial equator. So is equivalent to latitude. Right ascension, the equivalent of longitude, is the angle of an observer to the east of the celestial meridian. The meridian is a line passing through both celestial poles and a point on the celestial equator called the first point of Aries, or vernal equinox point. An object's right ascension can be stated in degrees and arc minutes, or in hours and minutes. 1 hour is equivalent to 15 degrees because 24 hours makes a whole circle. The celestial cycles. To an observer on Earth, celestial events occur within the context of cycles determined by the motions of Earth, Sun and Moon. These cycles provide us with some of our basic units for measuring time, such as days and years. They include the apparent daily motions of all celestial objects across the sky, and the annual apparent movement of the Sun against the celestial sphere, the seasonal cycle, and the monthly cycle of lunar phases. Other related cycles produce the dramatic but predictable events known as lunar and solar eclipses. As Earth travels around the Sun, to an observer on Earth, the Sun seems to trace a path across the celestial sphere, known as the ecliptic. Because of the Sun's glare, this movement is not obvious, but the Sun moves a small distance each day against the background of stars. The band of sky extending for 9 degrees on either side of the Sun's path is called the zodiac, and incorporates parts or all of 24 constellations. Of these, the Sun passes through 13 constellations, of which 12 form the signs of the zodiac. Well known to followers of astrology, the Sun spends a variable number of days solstice in the northern hemisphere and winter solstice for the southern hemisphere. For some time around this date, the North Pole region is sunlit all day, whilst the South Pole region is in darkness. Around the 21st of December, the situation is reversed. Between the solstices are the equinoxes, when Earth's axis is broadside to the Sun, and the periods of daylight and darkness are equal for all points on Earth. Earth's tilt also defines the tropics. The Sun is overhead at midday on the Tropic of Cancer around the 21st of June, above the Tropic of Capricorn near to the 21st of December, and directly above the equator at midday during the equinoxes. Measuring days. Every day, Earth rotates once, and most locations on its surface pass from sunlight to shadow and back, producing the day-night cycle. However, there are two possible definitions for what constitutes a day, and only one of these, the solar day, lasts for exactly 24 hours. A solar day is defined by the apparent movement of the Sun across the sky, produced by Earth's rotation. It is the length of time the Sun takes to return to its highest point in the sky from the same point the previous day. The other type of day, the sidereal day, is defined by Earth's rotation relative to the stars. It is the length of time a star takes to return to its highest point in the sky on successive days. A sidereal day is 4 minutes shorter than a solar day. Measuring months. The concept of a month is based on the Moon's orbit around Earth. During each of the Moon's orbits, the angle between Earth, the Moon and the Sun continuously changes, giving rise to the Moon's phases. The phases cycle: the Sun, crescent quarter, and gibulus, to full moon. A complete cycle of the Moon's phases takes 29.5 solar days and defines a lunar month. However, Earth's progress around the Sun complicates the expression of a month, just as it confuses the measurement of a day. The Moon, in fact, takes only 27.3 days to orbit the Earth with reference to the background stars. Astronomers call this period a sidereal month. The disparity results from Earth's progress around the Sun, alters the angle between the Earth, Sun and the Moon. After one full orbit of Earth, the Moon must orbit a bit farther to return to its original alignment with Earth and the Sun, which is a lunar month. Lunar eclipses. As the Moon orbits the Earth, it occasionally moves into Earth's shadow, an occurrence called a lunar eclipse, or blocks sunlight from reaching a part of Earth's surface, a solar eclipse. Eclipses do not happen every month because the plane of the Moon's orbit around eclipses. An eclipse of the sun occurs when the moon blocks sunlight from reaching part of the Earth. During a total eclipse, viewers within a strip of Earth's surface, called a path of totality, witness the sun totally obscured for a few moments by the moon. Outside this area is a larger region, where viewers see the sun only partially obscured. More common are partial eclipses, which cause no path of totality. A third type of solar eclipse is the annular eclipse, occurring when the moon is farther from Earth than average, so its disk is too small to cover the sun's disk totally. At the peak of an annular eclipse, the moon looks like a dark disk inside a narrow ring of sunlight. Solar eclipses happen 2 or 3 times a year, but total eclipses occur only about once every 18 months. During the period of totality, the sun's corona becomes visible. Right, I'll leave that for now. I was going to read a few more pages, but I'm rather tired at the moment. It's not actually that late yet, but I had a very busy day yesterday and today. I can't remember. I'd said I was away all day yesterday, fairly far away, doing 2 exams I had to do through work, through the course I've been doing, so I had to go away to do them for a good few hours. The exams, I mean, were a good few hours each, so I've been rather stressed about that for the past couple of weeks, especially this week, getting ready for it, because I've been busy at work with other things as well, so working, doing projects, coming home and then revising. It's been a bit of a nightmare really, but it's done now, and I was very happy to get it out of the way, I must admit. As soon as I finished, there is about a half-hour period on the way home with a friend that I go with, because we both have to do them, where we have a quick discussion of, what was this question, what did you do for this, what did you think of that part, what did you involve here, what did you work out for this calculation, things like that. And then pretty much we give up. We just a quick discussion about it to see if we were on the right track, and it seemed to go okay. We both felt alright about it. There was some very difficult parts, but we both felt quite good, I think, coming out of it. As I say, after half an hour, it was already fading out your mind. We couldn't even remember some of the questions, and that seems to happen every time we go away for these. It's very strange. Half an hour after doing the exam, for a couple of hours each, and we started to forget what some of the questions were and what we'd wrote. It literally just comes straight out the other end. I think with all the stress and the adrenaline of doing it, it just fades very quickly, which is odd. But I think it's just a relief thing that you've got that off your mind, off your shoulders, and it's fantastic to travel home just knowing that it was done out the way. And I've got quite a long break off now. Well, I've still got to be at work obviously, but we don't have to go away again for a while yet, so I'm very, I just need to sort a few things, send a few emails. I'll do this video, and I might do another one later once I've got everything sorted and settled down. Gotta relax for a bit, so I might actually sit and do another one later if I get time, and it should be a bit quieter. So yeah, I hope everyone's enjoying themselves. Hope everyone's having a nice weekend, and I hope nobody's too stressed. Trying to relax. Anything that's bothering you, it's all it usually always, something sorts itself out. Things always seem to happen one way or the other, so just have to try and remember that it's not worth stressing out about so much, because you just end up getting yourself more worked up than's necessary. I can't really say that about everything, obviously, but in general, as I've said now, I've been stressed all week, but I did know that, when it came to it, it was going to be done and over with. No matter what happened, it would be done and over with, and at least I'd feel better for that way. So, but put in some effort, and I think it went okay, and now it's done. And all the worrying I've done for the past 2 weeks, I could have been a lot more worried, but thinking about it now, shouldn't have been as worried. But I think that's just human nature a lot of the time. How it is with me anyway. Can't help but stress about some things, but try to remember that it's not worth stressing too much, because it usually just makes things worse. You don't concentrate as much, and you don't get as much done if you think about things too much. So, yeah, I hope everyone's enjoying themselves. And I think I'm actually going to go and check out a lot of ASMR videos myself and watch a few of them. I think catch up with some of my favourite subscriptions and do a bit of relaxing myself.